Hello everyone, I am Brad Ellis. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the new versions of Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 that were re-released for Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. Obviously, everyone knows Mario. He's one of the biggest mascots in the world, right up there with Mickey Mouse. And to me, he's absolutely the face of video games. The Mario IP is simply a juggernaut. He's not just for boomers like me either. Mario has remained a cultural icon over the past 40 years with various games, movies, and merchandise. He's even got his own section in amusement parks now. Don't agree with me? Listen to this guy.
I love Mario.
See, even freak shows like that guy like Mario. Like many old timers out there, Super Mario Bros. On the NES was the first game I ever played, and it completely captured my imagination. And to this day, Mario still remains one of the most joyous franchises in all of gaming. Whenever someone tells me their favorite Mario game, I'm like, yeah, I totally get it. They're all incredible games that everyone should experience. Now, with Mario's 40th anniversary, we're getting Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 on Switch and Switch 2. Great, right? Two incredible video games are being made available on current hardware. Well, yes, it is great. But, monkey's paw, there's a little bit of a catch. For full context, we need to go back to 2020 when Nintendo released Super Mario 3D All-Stars for Mario's 35th anniversary, which featured Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. This was great news back then. Even though I was pissed Galaxy 2 wasn't part of the collection, I was at least happy to get these games on a modern platform that I could actually buy and not have to go through NSO. Nintendo had to be extra weird about it though and make it a limited time release, which is just ridiculous. Can you imagine any other company doing this? Like, imagine Square Enix doing this with Chrono Trigger. They're like, hey, Chrono Trigger is out for various platforms now, but it's for limited time only, so if you want it, you better pay it fast. Anyways, flash forward and we finally get Galaxy 2 and 1 for those who missed it last time. Now, I know a lot of people are upset about the price here, which is $70 for both if you want to get the 1 and 2 collection put together. However, you can buy them individually for $40 each. So if you already have Galaxy on Switch, you can just buy 2 if you want. However, these new versions feature some nice upgrades like updated textures, controls, and they now run at 4K, which is wonderful. But, since it's Nintendo, as far as I'm aware, if you owned Galaxy before on Switch from the 3D All-Stars collection, you do not get a free or cheaper upgrade to the Switch 2 version, so you'll be stuck playing at 1080p, which is a bust. Thanks, Nintendo. Now, of course, everyone is entitled to their opinion, and I can absolutely sympathize with anyone who's upset about Nintendo's practices or feel they're being unfair. Now, this may be an unpopular take, I know, but to me, these two games are absolutely, without question, worth the price. If you disagree, that's cool. But let me explain. Let's start with Mario Galaxy. Originally released back on the Wii in North America on November 12, 2007, Galaxy brought everyone's favorite plumber to the stars. First off, the director, Yoshiaki Koizumi, who is now an SEO and Senior General Manager of the Nintendo EPD division. This guy is a legend. Let me list some of these credentials real quick. Illustrator on A Link to the Past and Mario Kart. Scriptwriter and designer on Link's Awakening. Director of Super Mario Sunshine. Assistant director on The Wind Waker. And a producer on a ton of other projects. This guy is legit. Every new 3D Mario game comes with insane expectations, and Galaxy managed to surpass everyone's. It is relentless in its creativity, constantly presenting interesting concepts and scenarios. I mean, just look at the gravity system, it's incredible. I love just hopping around on a small planet and watching Mario go around it. Let's look at the first real level of the game as an example of its creativity, which is Good Egg Galaxy. You begin on this two-sided planet with a toad house on top and a spooky-looking castle tower on the bottom. This serves as a friendly starting point, giving you a small space to explore, letting you get used to the gravity and how to deal with some enemies. It also features some Mario staples like pipes and a question mark block, making it feel immediately comfortable. Next, you go to this hourglass-shaped planet with rolling rocks and triangles for you to collect in order to move on to the next objective. Then we learn about beanstalks and the disappearing platforms. Then lighting up floor panels, which then culminates in a boss fight. There's a lot going on here for a first level in a Mario game, and you're taught everything flawlessly.
Yes!
All the galaxies you explore here are great, full of charm and wonder. I was constantly looking forward to seeing what the game would throw me next. One galaxy I really love is the Space Junk Galaxy, a place filled with trash, asteroids, and an old spacecraft. It's not just the mechanics that do it here for me, but the music and scenery paint a sense of atmosphere that makes me feel disconnected and at peace simultaneously. It's so relaxing, I wish I could just hang out here sometimes. Since it was originally a Wii game, there are motion controls here, but they're much less demanding now. For instance, I was playing on the Pro Controller, had no problem. Aiming is easy with the gyro, and you no longer need to shake the controller to attack like on the Wii. Look, I know, people hate motion controls and I totally get it, but I think they're used in really fun and creative ways here. Look at this golf level as an example. I think it's so fun trying to balance on the ball, jump over gaps, and run over enemies. It's good stuff. This spider boss is a cool example as well. Latching Mario onto parts of the web and launching him like a slingshot is sick. Collecting shooting stars is whatever though. It's a huge part of the game, but it's my least favorite part of the motion controls. So you'll have to deal with that. This is a Mario game, so of course there are power-ups for you to get, including classics like the Fire Flower. One new one I love though is the Boo Suit. Mario looks so cute as a little Boo. One area that makes Galaxy stand apart from any other Mario games is its story. Mario games are not known for their narratives, and Miyamoto's famous for not liking stories in Mario games. But Koizumi went ham here and created a touching narrative that connected with millions around the world, and made Rosalina a fan favorite. Hell, people enjoyed it so much they're going to be selling Rosalina's book from the game now. A touching story is not something I expected when I first played the game back in 2007, but I was really pleased with their efforts. Like 64 and Sunshine before it, Galaxy features a hub for you to explore between levels. It's not as robust as Peach's Castle, but it's still incredibly charming and I'm glad it's here. Something about hanging out here is really calming to me. There are people to chat with, which helps give the observatory some life, but it's really the music and the art design that do it for me. Speaking of music, the soundtrack here is incredible. Its fully orchestrated songs add a great sense of wonder and class to the game. Themes from Gusty Garden Galaxy and Good Egg Galaxy are some of my favorites and feel like timeless pieces. Pop those tracks on if you haven't heard them yet. Oh yeah, there are also some challenging levels here, especially if you want 100% the game, which I appreciate. Most importantly though, these never compromise on fun. My only real gripe with the game is that sometimes when going upside down or changing gravity a lot, the game seems to get confused on which direction you're supposed to be going, resulting in Mario spinning in a circle. It's a quick, easy fix though, so no big deal. Here are some of my buddies Dustin's thoughts about the game. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel if you haven't yet.
Mario Galaxy, of course, one of the absolute GOATs. Love it. I remember getting it, I think in 7th grade. Brad was probably already like 30 years old at that point. And I remember playing it over the holiday break and just being amazed by the levels. But the main thing I want to shout out is the music. The music, they took it to the next level. I absolutely love it. But Brad, I gotta say, Mario Sunshine, a little bit better.
All right, thank you, Dustin. Please ignore that cringe comment though from him about Sunshine being better. Okay, let's move on to Galaxy 2, which was released in North America on May 23rd, 2010 for the Wii as well. Let's start with this game's director, Koichi Hayashida. Here are some of his credentials. Level design director of Super Mario Galaxy, director of Super Mario 3D Land and 3D World, NES Remix 1 and 2, producer on Captain Toad, Treasure Tracker, and Super Mario Odyssey, game designer on Super Mario Bros. Wonder. This guy knows Mario, and it shows in Galaxy 2. As a true sequel, Galaxy 2 features a lot of what made the first game so special and ramps it up. However, there are some differences here. Firstly, the story is not as good and feels more in line with a basic Mario story. Second, the hub is much smaller this time around. Now it's a giant Mario head spaceship instead. Characters make their way through here as you play throughout the game, adding some nice life to it, but it doesn't have that magical atmosphere like the Comet Observatory does in the first. The game is also laid out in a more linear fashion with stage selection, similar to older Mario titles, which is fine, but I miss the structure found in Galaxy 1. Stripping down these elements is a downgrade in my opinion. It doesn't take away from the overall quality of the game, but those elements in the first game help it stand out more. Thankfully though, Galaxy 2 isn't lacking in the gameplay or level department. Basically, Galaxy 2 builds upon everything from the first game while expertly ramping it up throughout. More powers, crazier levels, and all the charm you'd expect. Let's talk about the biggest new addition first though, Yoshi! That's right, Mario's dinosaur pal makes a glorious return after being absent from the first Galaxy game. Of course, he's got some of the Yoshi staples like being able to hover and eat things, but he can also use his tongue now to grapple onto flowers and swing around, which is super fun. There are also power-ups for Yoshi like being able to float like a balloon, light up hidden walkways, and running really fast up walls. These are all great additions and are used in clever ways, solidifying Yoshi as one of the best additions here. Also, the vibes of Mario riding on Yoshi are off the charts. It feels like two best pals going on an adventure. I mean, look at this! How jolly is this? Mario also gets some great new power-ups like the Cloud Suit, which gives you a moon jump and lets you make cloud platforms, the Drill, which lets you rapidly dig underground, and the Rock Mushroom that lets you roll around as a giant boulder, which reminds me of the Goron mask from Majora's Mask. These new powers are so fun to use and incorporated into each level so well. Every time I got one, I knew the game was cooking up some fun challenges for me. The levels here are top notch and some of the best in any platforming game. For example, Cloudy Court Galaxy was easily one of my favorites, where you hop around making clouds and riding them across the wind. Very jolly. Flip Swap was another great one, where you flip switches by spinning in the air. I really like Spin Dig Galaxy as well, where you get to use the drill, which is a blast. I also really like a lot of these side-scrolling sections they use in some levels, like in Right Side Down Galaxy. Side-scrolling Mario isn't throwback at this point, but simple things like this help mix it up. And how well it incorporates stuff like this in it is crazy. I mean, look at this camera angle. But yeah, revisiting this game, there has not been one level that I have not enjoyed. There's an impressive amount of post-game here as well if you want to face some real tough challenges that are absolutely worth seeking out. Music-wise, the soundtrack is great just like the first, with Cloudy Court Galaxy being a standout for me. Overall, I think Galaxy 2 is incredible, and better than the first one in some regards, like some of its level design, bosses, and power-ups. It doesn't have the impact or some of the emotional aspects that people like me really like about the first Galaxy game, but it's an amazing follow-up and stands right beside its sibling in my opinion. So yeah, those are some of my thoughts on Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 that I played on Switch 2, and I absolutely think they are worth the price, especially if you not play these games. I know it can be expensive and may seem like a ripoff, but to me, these are absolutely worth the price of entry. So if you haven't played them yet and you're planning on playing them, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about the game. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care and goodbye.